Did the conquest of Sindh alter the course of Indian history? As we explore this question, it's crucial to recognize the conquest of Sindh not just as a mere military campaign, but as a significant event that shaped the geopolitics of the Indian subcontinent. The British Empire, driven by a mix of economic greed and strategic interests, eyed Sindh as a gateway to Central Asia. This conquest laid the groundwork for further expansion and control, redefining power dynamics in the region. To understand its impact, we dive into the events leading up to this pivotal moment. Imagine a pact that sets the stage for conquest. The year was 1838, and the air was thick with the plays of power and dominion. The Tripartite Treaty, a crucial agreement, was signed among three significant players: the British East India Company, Maharaja Ranjit Singh of the Sikh Empire, and Shah Shuja of Afghanistan. This treaty wasn't just a mere agreement, it was a strategic maneuver in the Great Game, a contest between the British and the Russian Empire for supremacy in Central Asia. The British aimed to install Shah Shuja on the Afghan throne, to create a friendly buffer state that would prevent Russian influence from seeping into the region. The involvement of Maharaja Ranjit Singh, who ruled the powerful Sikh Empire, added an additional layer of complexity and regional leverage. Through this treaty, the British secured a pathway to influence Afghanistan, which indirectly impacted the neighboring region of Sindh. The British saw Sindh as a strategic asset to further secure their position in the subcontinent against any Russian advances. With this treaty, the chess pieces were set, leading the British closer to Sindh. In 1839, Sindh made a decision that would reshape its future. The rulers of Sindh, under considerable duress from the British, agreed to a subsidiary alliance with the East India Company. This agreement was not merely a diplomatic handshake, but a strategic maneuver by the British, spearheaded by General Charles Napier, to expand their influence in the region. Under the terms of this alliance, Sindh was required to allow British troops on its soil and was prohibited from conducting foreign affairs without British approval. This stipulation effectively placed the governance of Sindh under the oversight of the British, significantly diminishing its sovereignty. The rulers of Sindh, in exchange for this concession, were promised military support against external threats, which ironically included protection from the very expansionist pressures applied by other British interests in the region. Essentially, Sindh ceded control of its external relations and defense to the British, a move that would later facilitate full political and military control by the East India Company. This alliance, though seemingly diplomatic, was a silent conquest. By 1843, the stage was set for the final act. The British, under the command of General Sir Charles Napier, were poised to enforce their dominance over Sindh. The region, strategically significant for its location and resources, had become a focal point in the British imperial agenda. The conflict began in earnest with the Battle of Miani. Here, General Napier faced the formidable Talpur Amirs, the ruling dynasty of Sindh. Despite being outnumbered, the British troops, equipped with superior military technology and tactical expertise, managed to secure a decisive victory. The battle was fierce, and the losses were significant on both sides, but it marked a turning point. Following Miani, another crucial engagement unfolded at the Battle of Hyderabad. This encounter further weakened the Sindhi forces, sealing their fate. With strategic precision and relentless pursuit, Napier consolidated British control over the region. By the time the dust settled, Sindh had capitulated. It was a conquest achieved through military might and tactical acumen. Sindh was now under British rule, but this conquest was not without its critics. Every conquest has its critics, and Sindh was no exception. The annexation of Sindh by the British Empire in the mid-19th century drew sharp rebukes from various quarters, both at the time and in historical retrospectives. Critics highlighted the ethical implications of the conquest, arguing that it was an act of aggression that disregarded the sovereignty and dignity of the Sindhi rulers. The economic exploitation that followed the conquest further fueled condemnation. The British imposition led to significant disruption in the local economy, with traditional industries suffering under new colonial policies that favored British economic interests. This not only destabilized the region's economy, but also impoverished many of its residents. Moreover, the impact on the local population was profound and distressing. Social structures were upended, and cultural practices were often suppressed, leading to a loss of local heritage and identity. The famous, albeit apocryphal, quote attributed to Sir Charles Napier, "Peccavi," or "I have sinned," poignantly captures the remorse that some felt about these aggressive colonial maneuvers. Thus, the conquest of Sindh leaves us with lessons about the complexities of imperial ambitions. Today, we've traveled back to a critical chapter in Indian history. The conquest of Sindh, marked by the Tripartite Treaty of 1838 and the acceptance of the Subsidiary Alliance in 1839, unfolded amid strategic motivations and military maneuvers. This conquest was not without its controversies, facing significant criticism for its methods and consequences. Reflecting on these events highlights their profound impact on modern Indian history and contemporary views on colonialism. Understanding these events helps us appreciate the nuanced tapestry of India's past and its enduring legacies. Welcome to our online family. Your one like inspires me to make a new video. If you enjoy the content, please consider subscribing to my channel. Subscribing helps support the channel, and you'll stay updated with the latest videos. Click the subscribe button below if you want to see more content like this.